Hey everyone, Neil here with more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. We're going to do something a little unorthodox here, and we're going to jump ahead to the third game in the trilogy, Trials and Tribulations. I do have recorded parts of Farewell My Turnabout, The Last Case of Justice for All, ready to go, but I needed something to pad out the first collection of recording sessions, so I decided this is the best way to do it. So this is actually a prequel episode. It features Mia Fey and a young Phoenix Wright. It's episode 1, Turnabout Memories, and it starts right now. Does every first case start out with someone out of breath? Ugh, how did I get into this mess? Why? Why did I do that? That girl, man, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your own sake, if you continue to see her, man, it's gonna be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me, man. There's something you need to know about that crazy chick, man. Stop it. Don't talk about her like that. Oof. You're such a simp. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. What the hell are you wearing, Phoenix? For 5 years earlier, Mia Fey, second trial. April 11th, 9:40 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Ooh, it's finally time. I'm kind of nervous. Oh, Mr. Grossberg, good morning.
Mia, please calm yourself down. You're going to get yourself arrested for suspicious behavior, you know.
What are you talking about? I am relaxed, Mr. Grossberg. Look at me, I'm relaxed.
Well, let go of my lapels. You obviously haven't got the temperament to be a lawyer.
I'm so sorry. It's just that I'm so nervous today.
Oh, that's right. This is your first time in the big leagues, isn't it? Well, never you fear, my dear. I, Marvin Grossberg, am at your service.
Actually, this is my second time in court.
Still, you surprised me, what with your earnest request last night. Let me handle this case, you suddenly said. And quite forcefully, too. You grabbed my lapels.
I just found out yesterday. About the case, I mean.
What? And you've already learned all the relevant facts?
Well, about that, you see, I mean, of course I have. I think.
Oh, dear. In any case, don't let our clients see you so nervous. You see the poor young man in the pink sweater over there? That's our client.
Good morning there, everybody. Good morning. Try to keep smiling, Mia. I just want to say, I'll give it all I've got. Yep, I'll be fine. No problem. Oh, what's wrong? Do you have a cold or something, Mr. Rye? Actually, it's right. Like the Flying Brothers. People screw up all the time. And yes, I have a cold. That's what this mask is for. The doc says this way, I won't have to give it to anyone else. Be kind to others, he says. Right, Mr. Wright. You have nothing to fear in court today. If you are truly innocent, I promise I will save you. Ugh, please, let go of my shirt. That's right. He's the one on trial, not you. He's the one who should be nervous. You need to stay strong for your client, Mia. My name is Mia Fey. I'm still pretty new at this lawyer thing. The first time I appeared in court was a year ago. But that trial traumatized me so badly, I thought I'd never set foot in another courtroom. That'll be important later. It's been 1 year since then, and well, here I am again. But this time I'm gonna win. For my client and for myself. But mostly for my client. April 11th, 10 a.m., District Court. Courtroom number 2. Rubble, rubble, rubble. Rubble, 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 rubble. Clack. Court is now in session for the trial of Phoenix Wright. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense today is Miss Mia Fey. Miss Fey, was it? Yes, Your Honor. Is there a problem? I was under the impression that Marvin Grossberg was to be leading the defense. Yes, well, you see, Mr. Grossberg had a bit of an emergency. Emergency? But isn't that him standing there right next to you? Yes, well... You're just a rookie. Are you sure you can really handle this? Don't let him scare you, Mia. Give him your toughest look. Of course, Your Honor, I think. Well, Mr. Payne, your opening statement, please. Well. I can't believe a veteran like me has to spend his time babysitting a new defense lawyer. Don't worry, little girl. It'll all be over soon. What was that about? Was he trying to trash talk me? He's never said that to a woman before. Now then, I'd like to proceed with a summary of events on the day in question. The incident occurred on the campus of Ivy University. The murder victim was a student named Doug Swallow. He looks suspiciously like another character in this trilogy. He was a fourth-year student studying pharmacology. It sounds like he was a very bright young man. Yes, well, next we have a photo taken at the scene of the crime. Students discovered the scene shortly after the murder. They found the victim's body, and the defendant, who had obviously bungled his getaway. They then called the police. That certainly makes the defendant look very suspicious indeed. Very well. The court accepts this photo into the record as evidence. Crime photo 1 added to the court record. By the way, I can't quite tell the cause of death from this photo. Your reputation of sagacity is well earned, Your Honor. The truth is that this victim died a rather unusual death. An unusual death? What do you mean, Mr. Payne? Well, perhaps the defense would like to take this question. Huh? A simple question. I thought I might loosen you up a bit. That's something you've never said to a woman. I am a genteel man, after all. A what? Stand up to him, Mia. Show him what you're made of. A perfect opportunity. Well, what was it? The cause. Go on. Please say you know at least this much. Well, let's take a look. Date and time, 4:10, 3 p.m. Oh, the cat is here. She's been meowing since I started. Cause of death was a fatal electric shock. Okay, so we know that. I'm so sorry. I didn't get a chance to read it through. I didn't get a chance to read through the whole file. My hemorrhoids are beginning to act up. Get out of here, you gross person. Now see here, the details of the case are filed under the court record. But you knew that already, didn't you? Yeah, I'm way ahead of you. Ah, yes, the court record. I think I can see that by pressing tab or the right trigger button. All the weapons we need can be found in the court record. Take a good hard look at the data there, and think carefully before you answer, my dear. Yes, sir. I'll do just that. I've got to stay calm. I can't let that prosecutor get the better of me. Court record. Okay, let's take a look. I've already done that. Now then, would the attorney for the defense please answer the question, what was the cause of death? Asphyxiation, hypothermia, electrocution. According to the court record, it was a fatal electric shock. In other words, electrocution. Electrocution? How could such a thing have happened? Did the murderer use some type of new super powerful stun gun, perhaps? The answer to that will become crystal clear as the trial proceeds, Your Honor. But before that, there is one more vital issue. But what's that? Why, motive, of course. Apparently there was some bad blood between the victim and the defendant.
Bad blood?
What do you mean? Oopsie. I'm terribly sorry. You're the defense attorney, so you must know all about it. I shouldn't be stealing your spotlight like this. I really don't like this guy's smug attitude.
That's Winston Payne for you. He is one smooth operator, if you catch my drift.
I don't think anyone would ever describe him as a smooth operator except for you. They don't... Oh, sorry, Grossberg.
They don't call him the rookie killer for nothing, you know.
Clack.
Now then, let's hear from the defense. What was the source of the bad blood between the victim and the defendant? And this time, I would like to see some supporting evidence.
Evidence?
No need to get all worked up over this. As I said, all our weapons can be found in the court record. Find the evidence you need and then shove it in old Graybeard's face.
Yes, sir. Into old Graybeard's face.
Mr. Grossberg, try to set a better example for the young lady. Mia, evidence isn't the only thing in the court record. People's profiles are as well. You can toggle between profiles and evidence with tab, so be sure to go over it all.
Why are we talking about game controllers? Are we breaking the fourth wall?
Now then, let's see what you've got. What was the cause of the bad blood between Phoenix Wright and the victim?
Okay, it was this young lady right here. Take that. The reason for the bad blood between the two of them was this woman here.
Dahlia Hawthorne, is it?
Very good, Mia Fey. You seem to have picked up on it last... I'm sorry, start over. You seem to have picked up on at least this much. This woman is the girlfriend of the defendant, Phoenix Wright. But up until 8 months ago, she was with the victim, Mr. Swallow. Clearly, she has some part to play in this story. Rubble, 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 rubble.
He's done it again. Before the cross-examination starts, he's already got the judge thinking like he wants.
Clack.
Very well, Mr. Payne. Please call your first witness.
If it pleases the court, the prosecution would like to call Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What, the defendant himself? Well, Miss Fay?
It's fine. After all, Mr. Wright is innocent, right? The defense has no objection.
Very well. Clack. The court calls Mr. Phoenix Wright to the witness stand.
Witness, please state your name and occupation. Yes. My name is Phoenix Wright. My job is, well, right now I guess it's a suspect.
No, he means what you did before you were arrested.
Oh, shoot. I was a university student. Mr. Wright, you understand that you are suspected in the death of your fellow student. But I didn't do it. I'm innocent, I tell you. I'm telling you I'm...
Would the defendant please refrain from passing on his cold to the rest of us?
It seems that the witness has something he wants to say, Your Honor.
Well then, Mr. Wright, please tell us about your relation to the victim.
Right away, Your Honor. Victim and I admit I was there, but I'm not the killer. All I did was find his body. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. I never even talked to the stuck-up British wannabe.
I see. So you hardly knew the victim.
Right. Like I said, I'm not a killer.
Whew.
Looks like the judge understands.
Ugh. You're being naive, you know. Too naive.
Huh? It seems that you've forgotten one small thing, young lady. And that would be? This witness still has to undergo something called a cross-examination. Cross-examination?
He's right. And it's the defense's duty to carry out the cross-examination. The purpose is to determine if the witness's testimony contains any contradictions.
Contradictions?
If a witness is lying, their statement will conflict the court record, you know.
But Mr. Wright is my client. Why am I doing this?
Even if he is your client, in court all lies must be struck down. As a lawyer, that is your duty, you see.
What does he mean by that? Is he saying that testimony just now? That there was a lie? A contradiction?
Crack. Now then, your cross-examination, if you please, Miss Fay.
Please, Mr. Wright, tell me you haven't been lying to us. You wouldn't do that to me, would you?
The victim and I, cross-examination.
I admit I was there. When you say there, you mean the place where the victim was murdered?
Yeah, sort of. The place where something happened anyway.
Objection. Objection. Something. You can't hide what happened. We have the photographic evidence right here. Anyway, Mr. Wright, what were you doing at the scene of the crime? I thought you said you didn't know the victim, Mr. Swallow.
It was just a coincidence. We bumped into each other by accident.
A coincidence, huh?
But I'm not a killer. All I did was find the body.
Hold it. You say you found the body? So who called the police?
Huh?
Unfortunately, it was some other student that notified the police.
Other students?
That's correct. They were witnesses.
Why aren't they here then?
Witnesses who saw the defendant standing there next to the body, in shock.
Rubble, 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 rubble. What? Is this true, Mr. Wright?
Could you stop sneezing every time you're in a bind?
Well, it's true that I was pretty shocked when I found the body. But I hardly knew the guy to begin with.
Hold it. So you didn't know his face or even his name, right?
Right. Well, no. That is, I mean...
So, which is it? Did you know him or not?
Now see here, you can't avoid answering the question by sneezing all day.
Well, I guess I did know his name.
News to me. Why didn't he tell me that before?
I heard he used to date Dolly.
Who is this Dolly person?
Yes. That would be the defendant's lover, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Oh, I see. Young love. So bittersweet.
But that's all I knew about him. I never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe.
Mr. Wright, you stated the following in your testimony. I hardly knew the guy to begin with.
That's right. I mean, why would I even...
But that doesn't sound right. If you hardly knew him, then why would you say that the victim was a stuck-up British wannabe? Well, Mr. Wright?
No, it wasn't me. I'm not a killer, I swear.
Mr. Wright, I will give you an opportunity to revise your testimony. How is it that you knew the victim was, as you put it, a British wannabe?
Yes, well, he was always walking around with a huge Union Jack on the back of his shirt.
Well, my dear, do you think you can manage on your own from this point?
I can handle myself. 1 year ago, I was in a courtroom just like this. I can do it. I can handle this myself.
You mustn't try to bite off more than you could chew, Mia.
I think I'm getting him mixed up with the judge. I'll be fine. I know what I have to do.
Remember, you can always press him to get more information. Oh, and one more thing. When you're going to state a contradiction, make sure you present some definitive proof.
Okay, Mia, one more time, from the very beginning of his testimony. Okay, I hit the wrong button there. I advanced instead of pressing, but that's okay, because I don't need to press him on this. He was always walking around with a huge Union Jack on the back of his shirt. No, he was not, because if we look at this... Actually, he was, but he was also wearing a jacket, so there's no way he could have seen it. So, objection! Are you certain you saw the Union Jack?
Yeah, I'm sure. It was, right there on his back.
Miss Fay, is there some point to this line of questioning?
Your Honor, please take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, there's absolutely nothing on the victim's back.
Hey, wait a minute. He's wearing a leather jacket. The Union Jack was on the back of the t-shirt he was wearing.
I was under the impression that you accidentally came across the body. But if that was really the case, then you wouldn't know that, would you? You have no idea at all what he was wearing underneath that jacket. You would have no idea. Mr. Wright, you've been lying to me.
Please forgive me.
Mia, you've made our client cry.
Let him. That P on his chest doesn't stand for Phoenix anyway.
She just called him a pussy.
I can't believe I trusted him. Mr. Wright was all wrong.
That was an impressive bit of cross-examination.
Thank you for uncovering the defendant's lies for me. It's quite clear that the man did not simply stumble upon the scene of the crime. Uh-oh, did I go too far? By the way, Mr. Wright, you seem to have a rather bad cold. Have you taken any medication for it?
Yeah, I took some, but,
Was the medicine that you took an over-the-counter brand called Cold Killer X by any chance?
Yeah, that's right. It kills cold good. Hey, wait a sec. How did you know I was a big fan of Cold Killer X?
Would you happen to have that medicine with you right now?
Well, actually, I seem to have lost it somewhere.
He lost it? Does that even have anything to do with the case? Mr. Wright, shall I tell you where your cold medicine is right now?
Huh?
Your Honor, I'd like you to take a look at another photo from the crime scene.
What's this? In the victim's hand, it's Cold Killer X.
Objection. Yes, but even I've got a bottle of Cold Killer X in my apartment. Objection. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that argument won't work. There's no doubt as to who this bottle of Cold Killer X belongs to. Especially since Mr. Wright's fingerprints are all over it. What? Nani? Sensing his murderous intent, Mr. Swallow must have picked up the bottle of medicine dropped by Mr. Wright and hid it in his hand. His purpose in doing so can only have been to identify his killer as Phoenix Wright. Rubble, 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 rubble. Clack, clack, clack.
Order in the court.
Your Honor, I'd like to present this photo and bottle as evidence.
Very well. The court will accept them into the record. Crime photo 2 added to the court record. Cold Killer X added to the court record. Found clutched in the victim's hand, covered in Wright's fingerprints.
Also, the victim's wristwatch was broken.
Broken?
Yes, it ceased functioning when a large wave of electricity passed through it. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have some kind of explanation for all this?
Oh,
this is really bad.
Oh, my buttocks. My poor hemorrhoids. Get out of here. What really happened? Witness testimony.
the truth is, I went because he called me. He was in the pharmacological department, so we agreed to meet at 2:45 behind that building. We talked for a bit, and then at around 3, we split up. Then later, when I went back, I found him lying there. I'd been taking Cold Killer X the last 2 or 3 days, but I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident.
Mr. Wright, that's completely different from the testimony you gave previously.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was afraid you wouldn't believe the truth.
You'll forgive me if I say I hardly find your current testimony any more credible.
Miss Fay, please begin your cross-examination.
Oh, please, Mr. Wright, don't tell any more lies. Okay. Okay, let's... The truth is, he might because he called me. We don't... Let's do that one. Was it Mr. Swallow who indicated you should meet at 2:45?
Yeah, we were both there right on time.
So, you said the victim was in the pharmacological department, correct?
Yeah, he was studying how to manufacture and improve pharmaceuticals. Everyone called him the alchemist of IVU.
An alchemist, I see. Can he weave lead into gold? Or straw?
I gotta admit, I was a little suspicious. He had the whole laboratory and everything. It was filled with chemicals and strange machines that run on high voltage electricity.
Oh, how fascinating. He seems like he was quite an ambitious young man. What do I do? Maybe I should ask him for more details. Let's ask more. We know about this already. Let's ask about the pharmacological department. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about the pharmacological department.
Well, okay, sure. I don't know all that much about it, though.
A little bit earlier in your testimony, you said something interesting. You said the department used strange machines that run on high voltage electricity.
That's right. They sure do. They sure look dangerous. They use non-standard voltages, so there are high voltage cables everywhere. And
high voltage cables?
Yeah, there were electrical poles set up all around the building. The high voltage cables run overhead around the roof.
Finally, I think we're getting somewhere.
We talked for a bit, and then around 3 o'clock we split up.
Okay, later I went back and found him lying there. Let's press that one. So you say you went back?
Yeah, that's when I found the body.
Yes, but why did you go back in the first place? Weren't you angry with him?
Well, that's right, I was.
Then why, Mr. Wright, why did you go back there?
I thought maybe we could, make up.
Judging by the atmosphere, I'm pretty sure no one is buying this.
I've been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days.
It's rather unusual to catch a cold this time of year, isn't it?
Yeah, I always get a little careless when the weather starts to warm up. I guess I shouldn't sleep with the window open this early in spring, huh?
I suppose common sense is not always common. So, did anyone else know that you were taking cold medicine?
Well, I always took one after meals. I'm pretty sure all my friends knew about it. But I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident.
Hold it. On the day of the incident, what did you do for lunch?
Huh? What does that have to do with anything?
You can never be too sure.
I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us. Dolly's homemade lunches are just the greatest. Her mini omelets are magically delicious.
Ouch, why did you pinch me in the jaw? Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like hurting someone all of a sudden. Clack. I think that's enough for now. So the defendant and the victim met at approximately the time of his death. And then the defendant returned to this scene for some unknown reason. I'm not entirely convinced by his explanation about the medicine bottle either. Let me be frank here, Mr. Wright. Your testimony cannot be trusted.
What do you mean?
I knew it was too much work for a little girl. I'll get you, Penelope Pitstop. However, there is one mystery that still remains.
There is, Your Honor.
How the murder was carried out, of course. Just how was the victim electrocuted? I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet, correct?
Well, that is, you are correct, Your Honor.
So how exactly was Mr. Swallow killed? Why have we not established that yet? Isn't that the police's job? The prosecution? If I could somehow establish how it was done, maybe I could still come out of this mess smelling like a rose. Establish a murder method. Well, it's right there in the picture. Your Honor? Yes, Miss Fay. I believe that if we were to piece together everything we've heard up until now, we should be able to solve this mystery of how Mr. Swallow died.
Well, that would be most impressive.
Quite the brash statement coming from the rookie. But even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of the court, yes? An attorney must be able to substantiate their arguments with evidence.
Of course I know that. Actually, I had totally forgotten about that. Clack.
Now then, Miss Fay, let me see what you've got. Show me how you believe the victim was electrocuted.
Boop, boop, boop. As you see, there it is right there. Okay. So we'll take that. As for the cause of death, I'd say this picture captures it quite well.
What? But there's nothing that even remotely resembles a murder weapon here. I'm afraid the defense is going to have to explain this in a bit more detail.
Oh, you stupid judge.
Miss Fay, where exactly in this photo is the murder weapon?
Right here, dummy. Take that. Well, naturally, it's right here.
What is that?
A severed electrical cable, idiot. Your Honor. Remember the testimony we've heard? The machines the pharmacological students use in their experiments require high voltage. And because of that, there are special high voltage cables strung up everywhere.
So then the high voltage cable...
Yes, the high voltage cable is the cause of death. That is the most likely explanation.
That certainly sounds plausible. Well, Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this?
Well, I believe some praise is in order.
Don't toy with me, old man.
Now, the victim's cause of death may indeed have been a high-voltage cable. However, I want you to think about what that really implies. The only one who had the opportunity to use the cable as a murder weapon was... the defendant.
That much is certainly true.
Yes, and that's not all. We have proof. Irrefutable proof that will establish that Mr. Wright is the murderer.
You do? Well, what is it, man?
His fingerprints, of course.
Fingerprints? What are those? Oh, fingerprints. You mean that the defendant's fingerprints were on something beside the medicine bottle?
Let's take another look at the crime scene photo, shall we? As you can see, the victim is wearing a leather jacket. And as you may know, leather holds fingerprints quite well. You should know the... You should see what fingerprints are on my leather jackets. You mean... Yes, it was quite clearly imprinted on the chest area of the victim's jacket. The palm print of the defendant's very own hand was on there.
What?
I can only think of one way Mr. Wright could have left the print like that. Intent on murder, he squarely pushed the victim toward the severed cable.
Rubble. Clack, clack, clack. Order. That's enough. I think we can conclude that there is no reason to continue with this cross-examination. Stick a fork at us. We're done.
Mr. Grossberg.
My hemorrhoids never lie. The show is over, Mia. I knew that boy was guilty the first time I saw him.
No, you're wrong. Mr. Wright is innocent.
No further evidence is required to convince me of this man's guilt. A Freudian slip there. At this time, I am prepared to render a verdict in this case.
Hold it.
Do you have something further to add, Miss Fay?
Is that what you want, Mr. Wright? You still haven't told us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. If you don't say something now, the judge is going to hand down his verdict.
But I can't... I just can't say it. If I told you what really happened, then I'd be...
It's okay, Mr. Wright. I'm your attorney. You can trust me.
Miss Fay.
No matter what it is you have to say, I believe in you and I'll represent you to the very end. Objection. We've already established the defendant's guilt. There's no further need for him to say anything.
Wait a minute.
Mr. Wright.
I'll tell you what really happened.
Objection. But I've already told you, Mr. Wright. There's no need for further...
I did it. I admit it. I pushed him. It's my fault. I missed the rest of that line there.
That girl, man, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your own sake. If you continue to see her, it's gonna be bad news, man.
You're lying.
Just listen to me, man. There's something you need to know about that crazy chick, man.
Stop it. Don't talk about her like that.
Oof. Oof, man.
What you just said, was that the truth?
Yes, I was afraid that if I told you the truth, everyone would think I was the murderer for real.
Well, as things certainly stand, we're all absolutely convinced you are.
Please give me one more chance to explain. This time I swear I'll tell the whole truth. It's okay. It'll be okay, won't it, Miss Fay? I believe in you.
Oh, thank you. I still can't believe it. He really did push the victim.
Ugh, it feels like my hemorrhoids are doing the Harlem Shake.
Would you get out of here? When I pushed the victim.
That guy, he was talking bad about Dolly. I lost my temper and gave him a shove. And then, at that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A little while after I left, I started to get worried. So I went back, but he was just lying there dead.
Well, the explanation is really quite simple, isn't it? When you pushed him, Mr. Swallow flew back. Sorry, Freudian slip. Flew back and touched the electrical cable. He died from shock. And that, as they say, is that.
A simple explanation indeed.
At the time of the incident, a light rain had been falling. Wet from the rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted.
But when I pushed him, there weren't any electrical cables nearby. If there had been something like that, even I would have noticed it.
That's true. Even a doofus like him couldn't miss that.
Miss Fay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I started doing the Neasley thing for the judge.
Let me warn you right now that your cross-examination doesn't yield... If your cross-examination doesn't yield any new facts, I intend to deliver my verdict without further delay. Are we clear?
Yes, Your Honor. Don't give up, Mia. If he is innocent, there must be some kind of evidence somewhere that will prove it. I think I saw something that was like really obvious. Like, big flashing red sign. Here we go. Not that one. I lost my temper. Not that one. I heard a loud kind of noise. A loud noise? And what would you say that loud noise was, Mr. Wright?
I'm not sure, but it was really loud. It was like, snap. You know, come to think of it, I wonder what that was.
Clearly, Your Honor, it was the sound of the victim being electrocuted. Objection. You're not qualified to decide that. What should I do? I'm treading on some dangerous ground here. Ask for more details, of course. Mr. Wright, that loud noise you heard, may be extremely important, so try to remember what it was.
How do I put it? It was like a sharp crack. Uh-huh. Could it have been...
Yes? Could it have been what? Hurry up and tell us.
When I pushed him, he dropped the umbrella he was holding.
Like, ow, man.
He fell right on top of it, and it broke. That was probably the noise I heard.
An umbrella, huh? And did that umbrella belong to the victim?
Yeah, it was a plastic umbrella, cheap and frail, kind of like the owner.
Wow, that was kind of catty. Someone get Phoenix a glass of milk, a saucer of milk rather.
Then again, I wish I had any kind of umbrella. I was totally soaked to the bone. It's probably why I'm sick right now.
Miss Faye, what do you think? Is there something important in that testimony just now?
Well, of course it's important. This is it, Mia. The new information you've been waiting for. Of course it's important. No, this cheap umbrella is more than important. It's vital. I want to officially have it entered into the court record, the testimony rather. Ha! How perfectly fitting. Flimsy information for a flimsy lawyer.
Clack. The court agrees to the defense's request. Witness, please add a bit about the cheap umbrella to your testimony.
After I shoved him, he fell down on top of his cheap umbrella.
Okay, I think I know. At least I hope. Yeah, because the umbrella's over there. He's not on top of it. Objection. Yes.
Why didn't you testify about the umbrella from the very beginning?
Come on, if I had mentioned that...
I would have been able to counter the prosecution's argument earlier.
What do you mean by that?
Take another look at the crime scene, dummy. Prosecutor, according to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. However, if you look closely, the umbrella is nowhere near the victim. Actually, it's by the electrical pole.
You're absolutely right.
The conclusion here is obvious. After the defendant left, the victim moved from where he fell. In other words, after he was pushed by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive.
No!
Clack, clack, clack.
Order, order, order! The victim, he moved? Mr. Payne, the umbrella in this photo. Where is it now?
Well, it was collected by the police at the crime scene.
I want it presented as evidence immediately.
Umbrella added to the court record.
But the umbrella could have been simply blown there by the wind.
Objection. According to the testimony, the victim fell on top of the umbrella. There's simply no way it could have been blown there by the wind.
But...
I know this matter of the umbrella seems relatively trivial, but as long as the smallest doubt remains, I cannot render final judgment.
No!
I must say, I still find it hard to believe that a huge hole has been blown in the prosecution's case by the defendant's testimony.
Phoenix testimony added to the court record.
Well done, Mia. Mr. Payne, what are you chuckling about?
Pardon me, Your Honor. It seems I was expecting too much of a free ride. It was foolish to think I could establish guilt through cross-examination alone.
I'm afraid I don't follow what you're saying.
Let me guess, you have another witness.
Exactly. And this witness's testimony will be incontrovertible.
Well, who is this witness man?
Miss Dahlia Hawthorne herself.
Dahlia Hawthorne? You don't mean Dolly?
I do, Your Honor. The defendant's own lover is a witness to the whole thing. That's right. She was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place.
What?
Rubble, rubble, rubble. I'm sorry to break the bad news to you, my dear.
Bad news? You couldn't be more wrong. Actually, I've been waiting for this. You can't be serious.
But Mia, what do you mean by that?
I think this is a good place for us to stop at. Court will now enter a 20-minute recess. Afterwards, we will listen to the testimony of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Clack. April 11th, 11:52 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 3.
Miss Fay, I'm sorry about what happened back there.
It's all right. At least you told us the truth in the end, Mr. Wright.
Yeah, so I guess I could start to relax then, huh?
Relax, my boy. You can't be serious after hiding such important facts.
But the next witness is my Dolly, right? She'll save me. I just know she will.
Why do you think that?
Huh? What do you mean? She's the love of my life. That's why.
The love of your life, huh? Would you mind telling me more about you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne?
Sure, no problem. Dolly and I, we first met about 8 months ago right here in this very courthouse rather. Actually, I'm studying to be a lawyer on the side. Anyway, one day, she and I bumped into each other in the reading room downstairs. That's why I really think it was fate that brought us together. As soon as I first set eyes on her, I knew she was the one for me. Oh, here, take a look at this. She gave this to me the day we met as a symbol of our love. She said she had been start over. She had been wearing it around her neck that day, but then she took it off. But before she gave it to me, she said, I want you to carry this.
So she gave it to you as a... I'm sorry, I'm getting him mixed up with the judge now.
She gave it to you as a present, I see.
This darling little bottle is filled with memories of my darling little Dolly. It certainly is.
It certainly is a little bottle, all right.
It makes me so happy. I'm
sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied now.
It makes me so happy. I show it to everyone I meet. I want to share my happiness with the whole world.
Dahlia's present borrowed from Phoenix Wright. Anyway, so after that, you and Miss Hawthorne started dating?
Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now.
What a strange girl asking for a present back like that.
By the way, Mr. Wright, the day you first met Dahlia Hawthorne 8 months ago, it wouldn't happen to have been August 27th, would it?
Huh? Yeah, it was. How did you know that?
This happened on August 27th, right here in this courtroom.
What's this? A newspaper clipping? Let's see. Murder in the courthouse. Murder?
What are you reading there? Let me see that. Oh, I see. Mia, I think I understand what you're trying to say. And I think I understand why you suddenly took such a keen interest in this case. I believe there is some connection. You believe there is some connection between these two cases? Am I correct?
Newspaper clipping added to the court record. I hope you don't mind, Mr. Grossberg. I need to finish this myself.
Yes, but I'm afraid...
I'm doing the nasal thing with him.
Yes, but I'm afraid what you have will not be enough, my dear. I'll go and have a look at the downstairs reading room and see what else I can find.
Thank you.
I want to do whatever I can to be of help to you, my dear Mia. Well, it looks like recess is about over. We'd better all get moving.
I guess so. That recess sure seemed longer than 20 minutes, though. To be continued. Alright, I'm going to take a little break, and I'll be right back. Don't you go nowhere.